everybody, thank you for joining me today. My name is Olivarria, and I am a scholarship coach. I help people find and apply for scholarships and afford college. And today we are going to start with our topic, which is the best way to avoid writer's block when writing scholarship essays. And today's quote is by writer H. Jackson Brown Jr., who says, "Don't waste time waiting for inspiration. Begin, and inspiration will find you." And that is certainly true, because if you wait for inspiration, you never know when it's going to happen or where you're going to find it. But if you start the process and you begin, then you're likely to find inspiration and you can use it, or you would think, that's inspiring. How can I use it in my process and in my journey of what I'm doing? So just to give you a little bit of a better understanding, we're going to start off with what is the definition of writer's block, which according to the website dictionary.com is writer's block is usually a temporary condition in which a writer finds it impossible to proceed with writing. And a lot of times what happens is when we start writing, we tend to come into three different obstacles that are common for most people, which is one, we're overwhelmed, and so we never actually get started, or we don't know how to start. We tend to think that writings happen in a logical order because we read in a logical order. And what I mean is when we read the title first, so we think we have to write the title first. We read the opening statement, which grabs our attention, so we think we have to get a wonderful, awesome, amazing opening sentence that grabs the scholarship judge's attention, and then we think we have to write it and then come to a powerful conclusion. And oftentimes that's not how great writings come about, especially for the title. The title usually comes somewhere throughout the writing process or towards the end of the writing process. So the writing process doesn't happen in the same order in which we experience the writing as a reader or someone enjoying it. And the biggest one too, I find, is that a lot of people expect perfection rather than progress. And if you're always expecting perfection the first time, anytime you write anything, you're not going to get going. You're not going to get started. It's not realistic. Great movies, plays, presidential speeches, great scholarship essays, they don't just come out. They take revision. They take time to revise. And a lot of it has to do with your ideas and providing clarity. So today, that's why we are here to talk about how do you get unstuck and what do you do when you are writing scholarship essays and you also come into a problem that is also known as writer's block. So I created a little block because it doesn't matter which way you turn it, like a dice, you're still going to be blocked. Anyway, I find that comical. I hope you do too. So one of the things that we do when we go through the writing process is that you want to have your ideas flow into like a funnel and capture everything on paper. And a lot of times people get stuck because when they write, they want it to be perfect. They want everything to flow. And the first thing you have to do is identify what ideas do you want to communicate. So that's why I have this handy dandy little funnel, is because you want to capture all your ideas that are coming in, and then you want to put them down onto this paper into these bullet points. So these are bullet points, and I'm not sure if you can see it, but in green writing it says ideas. Each bullet point is its own idea. And this is a great way to actually know what you're going to want to write about, because you don't have to worry about what am I going to write about, you already know. And the great thing about that is it helps you move along in the writing process, because eventually what will happen is you will take those ideas that you have over here, and then you can rearrange the bullet points, and then you'll have a rough draft. And that's important because a lot of times when we start writing, we think of everything having to flow, and then we get the way we like it, and we run into these problems of, well, wait, I forgot to include this, or I forgot to include that. And so a lot of times the advice people are given about writer's block is just write, and eventually something will come out. The challenge I have with that is that means you have to spend a lot of time proofreading and taking things out when you're just writing blah, 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 blah to get yourself started. So rather than writing and hoping and waiting for the inspiration to come, I would much rather have you put out bullet points about something that you're going to eventually need to elaborate on. And so a lot of times it means answering the question directly depending upon what the question is. So for this video, I thought about, okay, well, what would happen if I was going to write an essay about this new direction I'm going as far as helping people get scholarships and education. Why is education important to me? And I broke it down into two levels. The first level is, yes, you obviously want to answer the question, but the second level is you want to go much deeper and not just state the obvious, which most people can guess, or you want to make it on a more meaningful connection that people can feel you on a heartfelt connection. And so for me, it was more like, okay, well, let me state all the facts, because when you have writer's block, it's like, okay, well, these are facts. I don't have to think about it. I don't have to have creative juices flowing in order to write the facts down. Let me write the facts. I can reorganize the facts. And then the second level is let me put meaning into those facts. And so what I did is I thought about, okay, well, if I was going to answer the question about my next field, the next field that I'm engaging in as far as helping people with education, and the scholarship essay question was, why are you interested in this field that you've chosen? For me, my bullet points would be talking about education is important. Statistically, people with higher education tend to make more money than those without college degrees. My second bullet point would be most educational institutions are not meeting students and parents' needs by keeping up with the skills that are necessary in the age of the internet. My third bullet point would be most schools do not provide assistance in helping people plan for their careers. And my fourth bullet point would be I'm angry that students are pressured to go into college, but no one's taking the time to discuss ways to afford college. That angers me. So taking it down to a deeper level, like those are all things that people could pretty much guess. Like, okay, what you want to go into education, you want to help people, you want to do better, you want to make more money. Most people kind of get that. Like it's to some people they would say it's even obvious. It's just formal to communicate it and choose your words wisely. Taking it down to a deeper level, I created 4 more bullet points, and I said, explain what does education mean in the bigger picture? So my first bullet point would be, it is important for society to have a large group of highly educated workers. Populations of highly skilled workers attract investors and entrepreneurs who work together to create jobs. Education, my second bullet point, education is a hand up rather than a hand out. I personally believe that the human soul would rather take pride in having a career and making money than receiving a government handout, such as welfare. My third bullet point is I believe a lot of people want to get ahead, but they do not know how. And with the way technology and industries are changing, people cannot rely on the advice that has worked for their parents and their grandparents. People need access to information about how to make wise career decisions. And my fourth bullet point is people who have higher incomes are in a better position to give more frequently to their favorite organizations and charities. I believe that it's better for a person to be in a position to give than it is for them to need or receive. So with that, I just put down ideas that I thought would be important in a scholarship essay where I have to answer the question about why are you interested in this career field or career choice. And pretty much by just putting down the facts of how I felt, or facts that most people know, and then diving in deeper, I pretty much went ahead and already created an essay. It's a draft, it's an outline. It's beautiful because it doesn't take, I'm not stuck in a process of what am I going to write. This is what I'm going to write about, and let's take it to the next level. So I know some people are visual, so I'm going to go ahead and do a quick screen share. With that, now you just need to take it to the next level of refining it, and that is eventually how you take a rough draft and you go forward into the process of writing scholarship essays. So I hope you found this helpful. I will go ahead and create another video so that you can see how I would take a scholarship question and answer it and go through the process of writing. So thank you for joining me, and I will look forward to seeing you next time.